Senate is about Nigeria and Nigerians.
Hello and welcome to another interesting episode of Inside the Senate. I am Aisha Mohammed Ahmed, your anchor on the program. On this episode of the program, we shall continue our review series of activities from the Red Chamber of the National Assembly since the inception of the 10th Senate. Tonight, our focus will be the 2024 Appropriation Bill from presentation to passage. The program is complete with an interview with Senator Yemi Adaramodu, the senator representing Ekiti South Senatorial District and chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs. Please stay tuned as the program unfolds.
We are fighting for this democracy. This country will definitely improve in terms of development and progress.
Nigerians deserve better living.
What is the team and the legislature, they are going to put in their best for a better Nigeria.
Welcome back. On Wednesday, 29th November 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu unveiled the budget of renewed hope to lawmakers at the Green Chamber of the National Assembly. The budget, estimating the sum of 27.5 trillion naira for the 2024 fiscal year, seeks to achieve job-rich economic growth, macroeconomic stability, a better investment environment, enhanced human capital development, as well as poverty reduction and greater access to social security. The highly significant event was presided by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Speaker of the House of Assembly, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. Also present were distinguished members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, alongside some members of the Federal Executive Council, governors and other high-profile individuals who were seen in high spirit as they anticipated the historic occasion. Once the president arrived, accompanied by his vice, Senator Shatim Kashima, the event took off with a presentation by the president.
Your prompt action underscores your devotion to economic development and to the greater welfare of our people. It also highlights your desire to work in close collaboration with the executive branch. We do not serve ourselves. I appreciate you. We must always strive to work together to serve and benefit the people of our beloved country.
President Tinubu expressed hope that the National Assembly will continue to work closely with the executive to ensure thorough and swift deliberations on the 2024 budget, as he reported that the revised medium-term expenditure framework sets parameters for the 2024 budget, adopting a conservative oil price benchmark and addressing debt obligations.
A careful review of development in the world oil market and domestic conditions, we have adopted a conservative oil price benchmark of $77.96 per barrel and daily oil production estimate of 1.78 million barrels per day. We have also adopted a Naira to US dollar exchange rate of 7.50 per US dollar for 2024.
The proposed expenditure was 27.5 trillion naira with a deficit of 3.88% of GDP, which will be financed by borrowings, privatization proceeds, and loans for specific projects. President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives commented on the budgets.
Together with the spirit of unity and collaboration, we can overcome challenges and usher in an era of unprecedented development through reinvigorated revenue generation and fiscal prudence. We will continue to support the war against corruption and collaborate with anti-graft agencies to ensure that we do not continue to lose money that could be used to develop our nation.
The antecedents of the president and your track record in governance inspire a lot of people and hope in Nigerians. Mr. President, it is for this reason that we cannot afford to fail Nigerians. If anyone can change the road and chart a new course for Nigeria, it is emphatically you.
After the presentations, lawmakers as well as members of the Federal Executive Council commented on the 2024 appropriation bill as presented.
The exchange rate is whatever it will be. We don't have total control, but that's a best guesstimate. If you look at where the exchange rate is now, it looks reasonable.
Well, you had Mr. President, and I think I leverage on the statement he made that this is a renewed hope budget. We are renewing the hope of Nigerians to believe in the institutions, to believe in the leadership, to believe in what is good for Nigeria. So definitely I think it is quite, there will be some shift from the traditional way of budget implementation. I see positive developments.
To pass this budget from now to December 31st, I must tell you it's quite tight. But if we work beyond routine requirements, work weekends, work public holidays, if any, I'm sure we can achieve that.
The philosophical cornerstone of the budget is the issue of security. The budget presented by Mr. President has clearly stated that security will be given a breadth of prominence in tandem with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President.
That was a review of the presentation of the 2024 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly by the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's now take a break to open the Senate's notebook as the program continues. Please stay tuned.
A joint session of the National Assembly is when the entire senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and honorable members of the House of Representatives sit together in the chamber of the House to be addressed by a national or an international dignitary on a subject matter. At the national level, it could be the President addressing the joint session on the national budget of a given year or on any other matter as the case may be, while at the international level, it could be the President of another country. In the case of the presentation of the budget of a given year by Mr. President, the budget is deemed to have been read first time immediately it is presented. A joint session may also hold to receive a foreign president, head of state, or the head of parliament of another country.
You're still watching Inside the Senate, a program that brings you reports of activities in the Red Chamber and its members. Upon receiving the 2024 budget, the Senate immediately swung into action to consider the general principles of the bill during its second reading, and other activities followed, which ended with the budget being passed on the 30th of December 2023. Let's remind you of the event as they played out.
In order to give senators ample opportunity turns to speak on various aspects of the 2024 budget, the Senate extended plenary to Friday, 1st December 2023.
We can fund this budget without borrowing through reinvigorating our strategy on internally generated revenues.
While the current budget of 27.5 trillion has a deficit component of 9 trillion naira. So for me, if you look at that, that means we are gradually moderating our deficit financing and the reliance on using debt to be a major component of our budget financing.
The budget deficit also is something that is impressive. Last year or this year that is running out, we had 6.1%. Now it's down to 3.8%.
Following the debate, the Senate read the 2024 appropriation bill for the second time and referred it to the Committee on Appropriation for the next stage, being budget defense by MDAs. The Senate also adjourned plenary till 12 December to give committees time to work on the details of the budget with the MDAs they oversight. To begin, the Senate Committee on Appropriations on Tuesday, 5th December 2023, organized a one-day retreat for MDAs, stakeholders and others on the 2024 budget. The event, which took place at the National Assembly, had in attendance lawmakers, ministers and heads of government departments and agencies, It explored the theme, Budget and Budgetary Process, Improved Outcomes in 2024. There, Senate President Godswill Akpabio urged government revenue-generating agencies to intensify their efforts in generating the necessary funds to finance the 2024 budget.
But the icing on the cake will be the implementation of the budget itself. My message is very simple. Revenue drive, and revenue drive. We cannot achieve much unless all the revenue agencies rise to the occasion. So no matter how beautiful the budget is, if there is no money to spend, the budget will not work.
Presenting the budget at the retreat, Finance Minister Wale Edun emphasized the need for the country to explore affordable and concessional sources of financing, particularly in climate financing, to alleviate the burden on debt service and borrowing.
Nigeria's fiscal space is exhausted, and the solution, as you probably heard earlier today, is that we have to focus on the concessional funding, the cheaper funding, the even free funding, and climate financing is the way.
In his remarks, Senator Solomon Olamilekan, chairman of the Committee on Appropriations, cautioned that MDAs that fail to turn up to defend their budgets will be given zero allocation for the year.
Both the House and the Senate will have a joint sitting. So there will be no need for you to come to the Senate and go to the House of Reps. But after putting this in place, any agencies of the government that refuse to comply and do all that is necessary should be ready to have a zero budget, because there will be no opportunity to allow anybody to defer any time that he or she has been scheduled for.
With the retreat over, the lawmakers through the various committees of the Senate and House of Representatives began the process of budget defense by hosting MDAs at the National Assembly.
Nothing comparable to what other countries, especially in Africa, are spending.
The process lasted for about 2 weeks, and on Saturday, 30th December 2023, during a special plenary, the Senate considered the report of the Committee on Appropriations on the 2024 Appropriation Bill laid and presented by Chairman of the Committee, Senator Solomon Adiola Olamilekan, who also gave a summary of the report.
On Saturday, 2nd December 2023, the committee met with the chairman of the subcommittee on the approval guidelines provided for the processes of the bill, and they are all urged to adhere to it. And also, in addition, in pursuant to Order 92.4 of the Senate Standing Rules, detailed schedule of the bill were referred to all subcommittee on scrutiny.
He further revealed that the executive forwarded requests for additional funding and some item of expenditure which were not included in the bill as initially submitted by the executive. He highlighted adjustments made to the bill and observations made by the committee.
1. The foreign exchange differentials. 2. The GOA revenue increase. 3. The GOE personnel reduction. 4. Service-wide vote wage adjustment. And 5. Reduction from service-wide. Observation. The committee observed as follows. 1. 2024 appropriation bill was presented to the National Assembly late, and this is against the Fiscal Responsibility Act that required the bill to be presented for not less than 3 months before the next financial year, which puts intense pressure on processing of the bill. 2. The provision of multilateral and bilateral loan funded project in the sum of 1,051 billion 914 million 486 314.
With the adjustments made to accommodate the request for further funding by the executive, the updated figure of the 2024 budget stood at 28,777,404,073,361 naira only. After receiving the report, the Senate resolved into the Committee of Supply to consider parts and clauses of the report.
Short title, Clause 13, Page 3, those in favor say aye. Long title, page 1, those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion moved by the leader and seconded by minority leader say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Resolving back to plenary, the bill was read a third time on the floor of the Senate and passed.
Is now read for the third time and passed.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio commented on the passage of the 2024 appropriation bill.
Our work does not end here. We will continue to labor diligently to ensure that the bill is promptly transmitted to Mr. President for his immediate assent, enabling its implementation to commence on January 1st, 2024. I also wish to express my deep appreciation to my esteemed colleagues for your patience, for willingly truncating your Christmas holidays and Christmas celebrations, and even particularly your New Year holidays and recess to ensure the completion of this national duty.
You're still watching Inside the Senate, your window to the activities of the Red Chamber and the National Assembly and its members. Away from the 2024 budget, our crew met and interacted with Senator Yemi Adaramodu, Senator representing Ekiti South Senatorial District and Chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs. In his chat, Senator Adaramodu speaks on the relationship between the Senate and media, as well as freedom of the press.
I've never had an instance, especially from the Senate, where even when there were adverse reportorials, we don't go against, we don't go after the press. We can ask questions. Look, let us sit together. We have a nation to build. We have a nation to prosper together. Then definitely you are agenda setters. You are the media's, they are gatekeepers. Some people will set negative agenda. Some people will set positive agenda. And because media men too are part of the society, we cannot just say that everybody 100% is free of partisanship. But despite that fact, there had never been an instance whereby the National Assembly goes after a very negative and adverse report from the Nigerian media.
Senator Adaramodu called on the Nigerian media to regulate itself in order to prevent negative narratives from quack journalists.
I know that there are a lot of quacks who pride themselves as journalists and media men and women who are never trained, who cannot even be attached to a particular medium. Yes, we do. Like we can have anywhere, in any business, in any profession. We have it even in business, even in politics. We have quack politicians. We have quack lawyers. We have quack here and there. But how we punish those ones that are apprehended as quacks before we take such to the court? Because what we put out there for our people to consume matters a lot. Because we have a nation to build.
The lawmaker also charged the press to ensure accurate reportage of events.
The other time when they said there was a supplementary budget to provide infrastructure for the National Assembly, the media cried blue murder. As I am saying now, the television that you are seeing in my office was provided by myself. The fridge that you see in my office now, I bought it myself. The media people in the National Assembly, we have several of them, hundreds of them. They knew when I was bringing this in. 4 years to this time now, if I'm taking them home, they will say, we are looting the National Assembly. Instead of giving the correct report, they will not. They just want to be sensational. They want to show people, oh, yes, we have caught a thief, even when there is no thief. They cry down wolf, where there is even no pigeon, to talk less of a lamb. Now, these are areas that we have a very serious systemic and fundamental deportation. So now in the National Assembly, let us, the media and the legislators, let them be partners. Let them ask questions.
That was Senator Yemi Adaramodu, Chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs. Up next, we have our profile segment. Keep watching as we introduce to you our Senator of the Week.
Senator Ibrahim Mohammed Bomai is a Nigerian politician who currently serves as the senator representing Yobe South Senatorial District in the 10th Senate. He was born on the 10th of February 1960 in Maiduguri, capital of Borno State. He completed his primary education in 1972 at the prestigious Shehu Garbai Primary School in Maiduguri. He obtained his secondary school leaving certificate in 1977 from Government College, Maiduguri. In 1980, he received a diploma in accountancy and Higher National Diploma in Accountancy in 1982, both from the Kaduna Polytechnic, Kaduna State. He received a master's degree in Business Administration Finance from the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, from 1997 to 1999. He also studied at Harvard University, United States between 2004 and 2006, and at the London School of Management, London, United Kingdom in 2005. Senator Bomai is a Fellow of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, 1994, Fellow the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, 2000, Fellow Chartered Institute of Treasury Management of Nigeria, 2012, and Fellow Institute of Corporate Administration of Nigeria, 2012. Senator Bomai's work experience began with his appointment as a lecturer, College of Education, Nsugbe, Anambra State, during his mandatory National Youth Service (NYSC) between 1982 and 1983. Thereafter, he gained employment as a finance officer with Bodap Maiduguri in 1983. In 1985, he left Bodap and joined the services of Ramat Polytechnic Maiduguri as a senior accountant. In 1986, he was promoted to Principal Accountant and Acting Bossa, Ramat Polytechnic Maiduguri. He switched over to the Federal Civil Service in 1988 as Assistant Chief Accountant and Acting Bossa, Federal College of Education Technical, Potiskum, Yobe State. He was later confirmed as the substantive bossa of the institution and held the strategic post till 2002 when he moved over to the nation's capital, Abuja, as the Assistant Director Accounts, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. He was posted to Ministry of Federal Capital Territory MFCT, Abuja. Between 2005 and 2008, he served as Deputy Director Accounts, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, on posting to the Federal Capital Territory Administration FCTA. Within the period, he served as the Auditor General for the FCT area councils under the FCTA. Bomai was promoted to the position of Director of Treasury of the Federal Capital Territory Administration in 2008, a pivotal post in the FCTA which he held until he retired from the civil service in August 2016. Senator Ibrahim Mohammed Bomai was elected in 2019 as Senator representing Yobe South Senatorial District. In 2023, he was re-elected as a Senator to serve in the 10th Senate. However, the election was declared inconclusive and a supplementary poll on the 15th of April 2023 took place, during which he was declared the winner and was returned as elected. His legislative interests lie in community development, agriculture, and education.
This brings us to the end of the program this week. Join us next week for another edition of Inside the Senate. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook for more updates on activities of the Red Chamber and its members. Thanks for watching.